because he's not just thinking about the present situation. He's not just thinking about how to uplift the person from the misery. A Satoguna person may help a person in distress, but a person who is a devotee, he thinks about the situation where he will never be in misery. One is helping a person in misery. One is trying to find a solution where the person will never be in misery. That is why devotee is considered to be suhrada. Suhrada is beyond goodness, thinking of the real benefit. So, but here what is spoken, the knowledge. 3 types of knowledge. Now, first type of knowledge is in the mode of goodness, where he sees sarva bhuteshu yenaikam bhavam avyayam ikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu tajjnanam vitti sattvic. He is seeing one minute, some call is coming in the list. He is seeing that undivided nature in each and every living entity. Okay. Shilpa Narve.
Hare Krishna. Sarvabhuteshu yenekam bhavam avyayam ikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu tajjnanam vidhi sattvikam. That knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all living entities, though they are divided into innumerable forms, you should understand to be in the mode of goodness, purport. A person who sees one spirit soul in every living being, whether a demigod, human being, animal, bird, beast, aquatic, or plant, possesses knowledge in the mode of goodness. In all living entities, one spirit soul is there, although they have different bodies in terms of their previous work. As described in the 7th chapter, the manifestation of the living force in every body is due to the superior nature of the Supreme Lord. Thus, to see that one superior nature, that living force in everybody, is to see in the mode of goodness. That living energy is imperishable, although the bodies are perishable. Differences are perceived in terms of the body because there are many forms of material existence in conditional life. The living force appears to be divided. Such impersonal knowledge is an aspect of self-realization.
Okay. Next. Pratakvena to yajnanam nana bhavan pratak vidhan vitti sarveshu bhuteshu tajjnanam vitti rajasam. Pratakvena, because of division, to, but yajnanam, which knowledge, multifarious situations, pratak vidhan, different, Vyakti knows sarveshu, in all, bhuteshu, living entities, such that jnanam, knowledge, vitti, must be known, rajasam, in terms of passion. That knowledge by which one sees that in every different body, there is a different type of living entity. You should understand to be in the mode of passion. Now, in different body, there is different type of living entity. So the concept is material body is a living entity. So that is what is the knowledge. And with the destruction of the body, consciousness is also destroyed. So thinking that body itself is the living entity. That is what Arjuna also taught now first. If I kill my people, all will be gone. And Krishna gives the knowledge. What is he giving that knowledge? That the living entities are separate from the body. Body anyhow is destructible, but living entity is not destructible. But here the concept is what? If the body is destroyed, living entity is also destroyed. So passionate knowledge. Passion means just seeing till the point of its enjoyment. Is so attached to that body, thinks that that body gone, living entity also dies. Passion means attachment. Always understand. Passion means attachment. Sato guna means knowledge. And what is that knowledge which which a Sato guna person has? He sees one spirit soul in everyone. That is goodness. This person, now we are not talking about any Paramatma, nothing. He is only concerned about that particular body. So much attachment to that particular body. Like that, he is seeing many bodies. Sometimes he has attachment, sometimes he has hatred. So his knowledge is very, very limited. So it is not a wider concept. It's only a limited concept. That is why, because his knowledge is limited, he thinks that destruction of the body means destruction of the living entity. Mayur Prabhu, read.
What is the verse number?
What is the verse number? 21. Join late.
पृथक्त्वेन तु यज्ञानं नाना भावान् पृथक् विधान् वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम्. Meaning, that knowledge by which one sees that in every different body there is different type of living entity, you should understand to be in the mode of passion. Purpose. The concept that the material body is the living entity, and that with the destruction of the body, the consciousness is also destroyed, is called knowledge in the mode of passion. According to that knowledge, bodies differ from one another because of the development of different types of consciousness. Otherwise, there is no separate soul which manifests consciousness. The body is itself the soul, and there is no separate soul beyond the body. According to such knowledge, consciousness is temporary, or else there are no individual souls, but there is an all-pervading soul which is full of knowledge. And this body is a manifestation of temporary ignorance, or beyond there is no special individual or supreme soul. All such conceptions are considered cause of the mode of passion.
So another one point is there in the 20th verse. One living entity. Seeing one living entity in different types of body. There's another meaning for it. Very deeper meaning that is also. One is, okay, the super soul. But one spiritual nature, which is occupying different types of body according to its karma. Which Srila Prabhupada has mentioned. Even Baladev Vidyabhushan is also mentioned. So Baladev Vidyabhushan writes that one spirit soul occupying different types of body. That means body is destructible. Soul is not destructible. Now, when you say Atma, there are two types. One is Jivatma, one is Paramatma. So the 20th verse can also refer to that Jivatma who has occupied different types of body. Body anyhow is destructible. So the knowledge is clear. It's perfect. Now here, thinking that there are so many living entities, that means every time there's a destruction, this body itself is living entity. So completely confused person. Body itself is living entity. So sometimes he is seeing, but how is he going to understand that living entity is occupying different bodies according to its desire? He's not understanding that. What is he thinking? Okay, whatever the body is that itself is living entity that is destroyed. And when some other body is created, there is another living entity that is also destroyed. So the transmission of the soul in different types of body, that is not understood. That is why Rajasic Jnana. Let us see Tamasic Jnana. yattu kritsna vad ekasmin karye saktam ahaitukam attattvartha vadalpam cha tattama samudarutam yattu kritsna vad ekasmin yattu that which two but kritsnavat as all in all ekasmin in one karye work saktam attached ahaitukam without cause atattvat arthavat without knowledge of reality alpam very meager cha and that tamasam in the mode of darkness udharutam etc. So that knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work as all in all without knowledge of the truth and which is very meager is said to be in the mode of darkness. So now he is not interested in knowing what is soul, what is body. He is not interested in all these things. How is he conditioned? What is ignorance? So he is not interested in all these things. He is just limiting himself to the bodily activities. That is known as tamasic jnanam. So another point here, Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan speaks. The knowledge which is without reason, attached to one action, not concerned with the truth, and which is very meager. That is known as tamasic knowledge. So it arises from oneself alone, not from the scriptures. What he thinks, what is his opinion, he is not concerned about the Shastras. And for him, material action is he is so absorbed in material action, he is not bothered to know whether there is a soul, this body is perishable. He is just absorbed in the work. You see, there are so many people, they just work. They work so much, they don't have time for chanting. They don't have time for studying. Tamas is so much, they don't want to know anything. And what about the Rajasic person? They formulate their own knowledge. They formulate. They are generally known as Mayavadis. We have studied this Lokaitakas and Vaibhashikas, if you remember, in the second chapter. In the Purport Prabhupada writes, body is the soul, that is Lokaitakas. Soul is different from the body, but has the same size like the body. This is known as Jainism. Atma is just temporary knowledge, Buddhism. Atma is God, Mayavadi. Atma is different from the body. At the same time, then it's given, Atma different from the body is conscious, all-pervasive entity, giving shelter to 9 particular qualities. This is Nyaya philosophy. Like this, many doctrines have come because of passion. Where the knowledge and passion, they accept different types of opinions. So here, in the passion, the knowledge by which a person accepts that a different jiva, prataktavena, assumes successive forms of deva, man, other creatures. Every person thinks jiva is destroyed with the destruction of the body. That is which jnanam? Passionate jnanam. Here, the knowledge spoken is what? He is only, for him, goal is what? He doesn't have any goal. For him, just go on working. It is like animal. Do animals have the knowledge that I am not the body, I am soul? They don't have the knowledge. They don't have the knowledge that I am not the body, I am soul. That knowledge is known as at least Satoguna knowledge. Even the animal doesn't know that when the body is gone, the passionate knowledge also it doesn't have. Soul is gone, passionate. and soul dies with the destruction of the body. Even that jnanam is not there for the animal. What are they absorbed in? They just bark and sit, or they just mate, or they do a certain activity like go and chase. So they are only absorbed in a particular work. Their knowledge is just restricted up to that point. Okay. That means when the passion intensifies, ignorance intensifies. At least in ignorance, he thought, okay, soul is dying with the destruction of body. At least that much he thought. Let me enjoy. Let me enjoy the body. Anyhow, I will die, the soul will also die. So till I'm alive, let me enjoy. Let me do some work, let me enjoy. But this knowledge, when it becomes more intensified, this enjoyment, nature intensifies more, he even doesn't think about the destruction. He only thinks about that particular work. Okay. At least when a person thinks about the destruction, he will try to do some good work at least. Some charitable work, some good work. Will not try to do some sinful activity. But this person, tamasic person, because of the intensified passion, he is so work-oriented. Passion intensifies into tamas. Okay. So no attachment to Vedic actions such as sacrifice or charity. So he's only doing nothing but bathing, eating, associating with women. Only one action, material action. Okay. Gita, read.
Mataji, I just joined. So which verse it
Okay.
is?
It is 22.
Okay, I will read.
If your connectivity is not proper, then you can keep your video off and read. Because I think your voice is pulling. Keep your video off and read.
Just a minute. यत्तु कृष्णवते कस्मिन् कार्ये सक्तमहैतुकम् अदत्वार्थवदल्पं च तत्तामस्समुदाहृतम्. Translation: and that knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work as the all in all, without knowledge of the truth, and which is very meager, is said to be in the mode of darkness. Purport: the knowledge of the common man is always in the mode of darkness or ignorance, because every living entity in conditional life is born into the mode of ignorance. One who does not develop knowledge through the authorities or scriptural injections has knowledge that is limited to the body. He is not concerned about acting in terms of the directions of scripture. For him, God is money, and knowledge means the satisfaction of bodily demands. Such knowledge has no connection with the absolute truth. It is more or less like the knowledge of the ordinary animals, the knowledge of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. Such knowledge is described here as the product of the mode of darkness. In other words, knowledge concerning the spirit soul beyond this body is called knowledge in the mode of goodness. Knowledge producing many theories and doctrines by dint of mundane logic and mental speculation is the product of the mode of passion, and knowledge concerned only with keeping the body comfortable is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So last line, what is given? In other words, knowledge concerning the spirit soul beyond this body, that is mode of goodness. Knowledge producing many theories, doctrines by dint of mundane logic, mental speculation, mode of passion. Knowledge concerning only with keeping the body comfortable, that is particular type of work, ignorance. Niyatam sangarahitam araga dveshatah kritam afala prepsuna karma yattat satvikam uchyate. Lord told knowledge, action. I'll be speaking about knowledge, different types. That is knowledge, action, and the performer of action. For three types of action has been described. That action which is regulated and which is performed without attachment. Niyatam sangarahitam, regulated without attachment. Araga dveshataha, without love or hatred. Kritam done afala prepsunaha, by one without desire for fruitive result. Karma action, yet which that satvikam in the mode of goodness uchyate is called. So that action which is regulated, which is performed without attachment, without love, without hatred, without desire for fruitive result, is said to be in the mode of goodness. So regulated occupational duties has been spoken about here. So whoever is doing that without attachment, without hatred, that work itself is satvika work. Just doing it because he belongs to a particular varna and ashrama. So action prescribed by one's varna and ashrama, devoid of the concept of being the agent, sangarahitam, which is not done out of attraction for name or hatred of dishonor, devoid for the result of that result, devoid of the desire for results. So that is known as mode of goodness. So we have already seen the nature of the mode of goodness. Same nature is here. Action also is without any desire for any fruitive results. There is no love, there is no hatred. Just does it as a matter of duty. Okay? Aruna, read.
Hare Krishna. Niyatam rahitam raga dveshata krutam.
Rahitam, when you have said araga.
Okay. Niyatam sangarahitam raga dveshatah krutam afala prepsuna karma yattatta satvikam uchyate. Translation: the action which is regulated and which is performed without attachment, without love or hatred, and without desire for fruitive results is said to be in the mode of goodness. Purport. Regulated occupational duties as prescribed in these scriptures in terms of the different orders and divisions of society performed without attachment or proprietary rights, and therefore without any love or hatred, and performed in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of the Supreme, without self-satisfaction or self-gratification, are called action in the mode of goodness. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So he just does it as a matter of duty, regulated actions. Now let us see what is a passionate action. Yattu kamepsuna karma sahankarena va punah kriyate bahulayasam tadrajasamudarutam. Yattu kamepsuna karma. Yat means that which, to, but kama ipsuna, by one with desires for fruitive results. Kama ipsuna, karma work. Sa ahankarena, with ego, va or punah again. Kriyate is performed. bahulayasam, bahula ayasam, with great labor, that rajasam, the mode of passion, udarutam is said to be. So action performed with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desires and enacted from a sense of false ego is known as the mode of passion. So what is the driving force? Trying to gratify the senses is a driving force behind a person who is passionate. And also, he has false ego, that means false identification. For him, body is everything. So for satisfying the body, he will do anything. Okay. Let us see 25th verse also. Then we can read both together. 24th and 25th. Anubandham Kshayam Himsan. Anubandham Kshayam Himsam. Anapeksha cha Paurusham. Mohadarabhyate karma. Yattat tamasamuchyate. Anubandham Kshayam. Anubandham means of future bondage. Shayam, destruction. Himsam, distress to others. Anapeksha, without considering the consequences. Cha also, Paurusham, self-sanction. Mohat, by illusion. Arapyate is begun. A karma, work. Yat, which, tat, that. Tamasam, in the mode of ignorance. Uchyate is said to be. So the action performed in illusion, in disregard of scriptural injunctions, without concern of future bondage or violence or distress caused to others. So if you see mode of passion and mode of ignorance, somewhat similar, isn't it? There also false ego, here also ahankara. There also, they don't regard the scriptures, here also no regard to the scriptures. Even if they regard the scriptures, they regard it for desiring their fruitive, and they just want their fruitive results. This person has no regard itself for the scriptures. He is not concerned about the future bondage. For him to get anything, violence or distress. Okay, you be violent to others, you be distressed, you give distress to others. So that is what is the nature or the work of mode of ignorance. So action is performed in deep illusion. The same passion intensifies, becomes tamas. Okay. Pushpa Mataji, read 24, 25 together with the purpose.
Hare Krishna. Yat tu kame pasuna karma sahankarena va puna kriyate bahulayasam tad rajasam udahratam. But action performed with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desires and enacted from a sense of false ego is called action in the mode of passion. Anubandham kshayam himsam anapekshya cha paurusham mohat arabhyate karma yattattamasam uchyate. That action performed in illusion, in disregard of scriptural injunctions, and without concern for future bondage or for violence or distress caused to others is said to be in the mode of ignorance. One has to give account of one's actions to the state or to the agents of the Supreme Lord, called the Yamadutas. Irresponsible work is destructive because it destroys the regulative principles of scriptural injunction. It is often based on violence and is distressing to other living entities. Such irresponsible work is carried out in the light of one's personal experience. This is called illusion, and all such illusory work is a product of the mode of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So knowledge is spoken, about the action is spoken. Now about the worker. What type of worker? Now if he is a Satoguni worker, what are his Lakshanas? Okay. 26th verse. Mukta Sango Navahambadi Dhrityutsaha Samanvitaha Sitya Sityo Nirvikaraha Karta Satvika Uchyate. Mukta Sango Nahambadi. Nahambadi. Mukta Sangha is completely liberated from material association. Anahamvadi, no false ego. Dhriti, yes, lot of determination. Utsaha, great enthusiasm. Samanvitaha, qualified. Siddhi, imperfection. Asatyayo, failure. Nirvikara, without change. Karta, worker. Satvika, mode of goodness is said to be. So one who performs his duty without association with the modes of material nature, without false ego, with great determination, enthusiasm, doesn't waver in success or failure, that person is known as the mode of goodness. Now, he is in mode of goodness, but is not associating with the mode of material nature. That means what? He is not associating with passion and ignorance. He himself is in one mode. That means he has to associate with mode of goodness. So what is spoken here? He is not associated with passion and ignorance. For him, he works without any attachment. For him, success or failure is like the same. He is equipoised. For him, that is same. Whether it is success or failure, is not bothered. He just does it as a matter of duty. He is not attached to the fruitive results. Whether it is success or failure, doesn't matter. Okay. Shilpa, read.
Mukta Sango Nahambadi Dhruti Utsaha Samanvitaha Siddhya Siddhyor Nirvikara Karta Satvika Uchyate. One who performs his duty without association with the modes of material nature, without false ego, with great determination and enthusiasm, and without wavering in success or failure, is said to be a worker in the mode of goodness. Purport. A person in Krishna consciousness is always transcendental to the material modes of nature. He has no expectation for the result of the work entrusted to him because he is above false ego and pride. Still, he is always enthusiastic till the completion of such work. He does not worry about the distress undertaken. He is always enthusiastic. He does not care for success or failure. He is equal in both distress and happiness. Such a worker is situated in the mode of goodness.
So it's not bothered whether there is going to be a success or failure. He just does it. Somebody is too bothered. Oh, what will happen? If I am failed, what will happen? So that is known as mode of passion. Ragi karma phala prepsur lupto himsatmako shuchihi harsha shokanvita karta rajasa parikirtitaha is very much attached to karma phala, fruit of the work. He just wants success. He cannot tolerate failure. He doesn't want to see failure. He just wants success. Prepsur means he desires. Lupta is greedy. Himsatmakaha is always envious. Ashuchihi is unclean. Harsha shoka anvitaha, subject to joy and sorrow. Karta, such a worker, is in the mood of passion. So, if he sees some success, then he is enthusiastic. He doesn't do as a matter of duty. Like you see, some people, they wake up very early in the morning when they have to catch a flight. Or when they see some, okay, now I'm going for some business meet. Then they cannot sleep the whole night. They will remain awake. And there's so much of enthusiasm is there when they see the money. Some people, early morning, they wake up. It is not that something has to be an instrument for their enthusiasm. Understand it nicely. They do it as a matter of duty. It is not they are carried away by some enthusiasm. No. There's nothing alluring by which they do their sattvika bhava, sattvika actions. On the other hand, a passionate person becomes very enthusiastic only when he sees the money, then he's enthusiastic. If there is no money seen, his enthusiasm goes away. So that is why it is said here. He is greedy and also is very envious. He's always envious. Is impure, moved by joy, sorrow. So that person is in the mode of passion. Okay, next. Ayukta, we have not read this, no? No, we have not read
No,
this.
Mataji, we have not read
Yeah.
it.
No, Mataji.
Yeah,
We are
I
not
thought I
read.
read. Mayur Prabhu, you read?
Ragi Khalat Kakupala Prem Su Temple Buddhom Sadhako Uti Arto Dam Dikam Karta Rajas Matari Kirtana. Meaning, the worker who is attached to work and the fruits of work, desiring to enjoy those fruits, and who is greedy, always envious, impure, and moved by joy and sorrow, is said to be in the mode of passion. Worker. Person is too much attached to a certain kind of work or the result because he has too much attachment to the children or her or home, wife and children. Such a person has no desire to carry life. He is simply concerned with making the world as materially possible as possible. He is generally very greedy and he thinks that when he attained by him and never to be lost. Such a person is envious of
The
the
voice
world.
is not coming good. The voice is not coming good, not clear. Somebody else should read. Pushpa, you read? Read the puppet.
From where should I read, Mataji?
Read the whole
Puppet?
puppet. Yeah. A person is too
Okay.
much attached.
A person is too much attached to a certain kind of work or to the result because he has too much attachment for materialism or hearth and home, wife and children. Such a person has no desire for higher elevation in life. He is simply concerned with making this world as materially comfortable as possible. He is generally very greedy and he thinks that anything attained by him is permanent and never to be lost. Such a person is envious of others and prepared to do anything wrong for sense gratification. Therefore, such a person is unclean and he does not care whether his earning is pure or impure. He is very happy if his work is successful and very much distressed when his work is not successful. Such is the worker in the mode of passion. Hare Krishna.
So now let us see the worker in mode of ignorance. Ayukto prakritah stapta shato naishkriti lolasa kolasah shato naishkritiko lasah vishadi dirghasutri cha karta tamasa uchyate ayukta prakritah. So again, for the tamas, what is given? He doesn't refer to scriptural injunctions. For passion, this is not spoken. Because passionate person refers. Why? Because he wants to go to higher planets. He has more desires, more greed. But this person doesn't refer at all. Prakriti is so materialistic. Stapta is obstinate. Shataha, deceitful also. Naishkriti, expert in insulting others. Alasaha, very lazy. Vishadi is morose. Tirka sutri, procrastinating. also karta, worker, tamasa, mode of ignorance said to be. So the worker who is always engaged in work against the injunctions of the scripture, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, expert in insulting others, is lazy, is morose, and procrastinating. That is Dirgha Sutri. So this person, this type of person is said to be in the mode of ignorance. So he offends. He doesn't know what to be done. He acts according to his nature. He is not humble. And also, he hides his abilities to work. He is lazy, he is dejected, he delays the work. So, Dirgha Sutri means delaying the work. What can be done in one day, for him 1 year is also not enough. He tries to drag the work. And a lot of alas is there. And always lamenting. So, Dirgha Sutri, slow in his work. You see some Matajis, when they go in the kitchen, they go on. You should understand. And some person, office work, they'll just drag it. Some people are born with that nature. They cannot do the work fast. Because tamas is so much. And always they feel dejected. They have this negative aura so much. They feel that they are dejected in the society. And they don't want to understand the scriptures. They are never humble. They're very rude and they offend people. All is given. Okay. Saurabh is back or what it is? Anuj Kamkar, Aditya, you can read. Okay, read.
अयुक्तः प्राकृतः स्तब्धः शठो नैष्कृति कोलसः विषादी दीर्घसूत्री च कर्ता तामस उच्यते. The worker who is always engaged in work against the injunctions of the scripture, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, and expert in insulting others, and who is lazy, always morose, and procrastinating, is said to be a worker in the mode of ignorance. In the scriptural injunctions, we find what sort of work should be performed and what sort of work should not be performed. Those who do not care for those injunctions engage in work not to be done, and such persons are generally materialistic. They work according to the modes of nature, not according to the injunctions of the scripture. Such workers are not very gentle, and generally they are always cunning and expert in insulting others. They are very lazy. Even though they have some duty, they do not do it properly, and they put it aside to be done later on. Therefore, they appear to be morose. They procrastinate. Anything which can be done in an hour, they drag on for years. Such workers are situated in the mode of ignorance.
Last verse. Buddhirbhedam duteshchaiva gunatas-trividham shuno prochyamanam asheshena pratatvena dhananjaya. Now Krishna says, I'm going to give in detail different kinds of understanding and different kinds of determination. Different kinds of understanding. Like what the scripture wants to say. Understanding. That is different kinds. Now, according to modes, again, there are different kinds of understanding. According to the modes, there are different kinds of determination also. Now, see, every person's action, knowledge, that worker itself, the determination, understanding differs person to person according to their modes. Mayur Prabhu read.
बुद्धिर्भेदं धृतेश्चैव गुणतस्त्रिविधं शृणु तुच्छमानम् अशेषेण पृथक् पृथक्त्वेन धनञ्जय. Meaning, O winner of wealth, now please listen as I tell you in detail of the different kinds of understanding and determination according to the three modes of material nature. Purport. Now, after explaining knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower in three different divisions according to the modes of material nature, the Lord is explaining the intelligence and determination of the worker in the same way. Hare Krishna.
So technically, if you see, we have spoken about knowledge and action, right? And the worker. This knowledge itself is intelligence. Sharabaldev Deabhushan writes. Again, Lord is going to speak in a different way. The same knowledge is known as intelligence. Same action is known as determination. The same thing is going to be spoken. Why Lord is stressing on this subject? Intelligence means knowledge. Application of knowledge, you can say. That is known as intelligence. But anyhow, they are connected. And the same thing, action is connected with determination. Now, if the determination is in the mode of goodness, then the action is also in the mode of goodness. Determination is always at the level of mind. And when the determination is there, then the actions are performed. So they are interlinked with each other. You're getting? Knowledge is the basic. Application of knowledge is intelligence. Knowledge is okay to know what is body, what is soul, to know the difference. What is intelligence? To perform that knowledge, or perform, or to apply that knowledge. That is known as intelligence. Application of that knowledge. That also differs. Action is completely based on your determination. If determination is in the mode of passion, action also will be in the mode of passion. These both are again connecting. So that we'll see on Friday. Okay, we'll go slowly. Because now only few verses are left. 9 verses every time, so that you can understand the verses very nicely.
Mataji,
Any
I have a
questions?
question. Mataji, we have, we have gone through with mode of, see, those who have a good knowledge, they are in mode of goodness. Those whose, they
Good
are
knowledge means those who see that one soul has gone in many bodies
living entity.
according to
bodies.
karmas. Yeah.
Yes. And those who perform the action without love and hatred, and those who work with no false ego and etc. However, those who worship the demigods, they also come in the mode of goodness for their material desire. Then how we can understand that, Mataji? Because they are worshipping demigods for their material desire, and they are in mode of goodness.
Mode of goodness worships demigods. Passionate people worship yakshas, rakshasas. And tamasic people worship
Chandan,
bhuta, pretas. We have just seen. Now, how to understand? It is completely contradictory, isn't it? And mode of goodness is worshipping demigods. How is it that they are free from desires? Isn't it? That is your question. That is your question. How they can be free from desire?
Yes.
Not necessary that every worship of a demigod need to be with desire. Some worship as a matter of duty. Not necessary. Somebody is a Shiva Bhakta. Somebody is a Ganapati Upasaka. Not necessary that he should have desire. Not necessary. He knows only up to that. At least he has accepted an authority. But if he doesn't accept that authority, he accepts some yakshas and rakshasas as his authority. in that way. It depends on whether you see, they did not say in the worship that he has desire. He knows only this much. He doesn't know superior authority. For him, the authority is still the demigods.
Okay, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Anyone else?
Mataji, I've missed a lot of classes of 16th and 17th chapter. In Hindi, is it possible to?
You have recording.
Okay,
In
recordings
the
I'll
class, there is a
Okay.
recording. Yeah.
Okay, Mataji.
I think Gautam can help you. Gautam, you can help giving all the recordings. So that,
I've subscribed to the YouTube channel, Mataji. I can.
okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
The solution pass into the age of the